Good morning. Today we will discuss about the endoskeleton in Porifera. Porifera, the most primitive phylum of the multicellular animals, and over 7,000 species, approximately 40% species that occurs in the local water. Like any other animals, sponges possess some sort of skeleton that gives their bodies shape and structure. And all the sponges have a skeleton embedded in the mesenchyme. Skeleton consists of separate spicules or interlacing spongin fibers or both. Skeleton supports and protect the soft body parts of the sponges. Skeleton also serve as the basis of classification of the sponges into various classes like Calcarea, Hexactinellida and Demospongia. Now first, the structure of spongin. Spongin is an organic elastic substance which resembles silk in chemical composition. It's a scleroprotein containing sulfur and chemically related to collagen. It is insoluble in water and chemically resistant to protein digesting enzymes. Spongin fibers are fine threads consisting of a soft granular axial core externally surrounded by concentric layer of spongin. Spongin contain large amount of iodine, and in the class Demospongia, spongin fibers occur in various forms. It may occur as a cement connecting together siliceous spicule. It may be found in the form of branching fiber in which siliceous spicules are embedded. In Keratosa, spicules are completely absent and spongin alone is formed. The development of spongin. How they develop in the body of a sponge. Actually, spongin fibers are secreted by a flask-shaped mesenchyme cells, which are called as spongioblast cells. During the development, the spongioblast cells are arranged in the row, and the spongin rods secreted by them are fused with the neighboring cells to form a long fiber. Later, the spongioblast vacuolated and finally get degenerated after secreting certain amount of spongin. Now the second most important part of the skeleton of sponges are the spicules. So first of all, what is the structure and what are the types of spicules? Spicules are microscopic crystalline structures which gives the sponges their rigidity and form. Spicules consist of spines or rays that radiate from a point. These are secreted by special mesenchymal amoebocytes called scleroblast cells. The following are various types of spicules. We can divide the spicules on different basis. First, on the basis of type of deposit on core organic matter. All kind of spicules have a core of organic material around which either calcium carbonate or colloidal silica is deposited. Accordingly, spicules are of two types. First, calcareous spicules. The organic material in this type of spicules is calcium carbonate or calcite. This is the characteristics of the sponges of class Calcarea. And the second one is siliceous spicules. The organic material in this type of spicule is colloidal silica or silicon. These types of spicules are the characteristics of the sponges of class Hexactinellida. Now, on the basis of size and function, spicules can be large size or small size. Accordingly, spicules can be of two types. If uh, there are larger spicules constituting main skeleton of the sponge body, they called megascleres, and second one is microscleres. These are the small spicules occurring interestingly. Now, on the basis of number of axes and rays, spicules may occur in several forms like the simple rod forms or in the form of forks, anchors, shawls, stars, plums, etc. The spicule forms depend on the presence of number of axes and rays. Accordingly, they can be divided into the following forms. First, monoaxon. These kind of spicules are formed by the growth along one axis. They may be straight, needle-like or rod-like or may be curved. Their ends may be pointed or hooked or knobbed. Monoaxon can be both calcareous and siliceous type. Next one is tetraxon. These spicules have four rays, each pointing in different directions. Usually, one of the four rays is elongated, giving the appearance of a crown of three rays. Such spicules are called as triads. Sometimes all the rays are equal. When all the rays are equal, it is termed as calthrops. In this diagram, we can see sometimes, and when all the four rays persist, it is called the tetraradiate or quadriradiate. Sometimes one of the rays is lost and then it is known as triradiate. These triradiate rays are characteristics of calcareous sponges. If the elongated rays bears a disc at both ends, it is called the amphidisc. In this diagram, all types of spicules are shown according to the description. Triaxon. These spicules have three axes that cross one another at right angles to produce six rays. Thus, it is also called hexagonal spicules, and these triaxon spicules are characteristics of class sponges of hexactinellida. Polyaxon. These are the spicules with several equal rays radiated from a central point. They may be grouped to give star-like appearance. The development of spicules. The calcareous spicules are secreted by special type of cells which are called as the sclerocytes. These sclerocytes are derived from binucleated mesenchymal scleroblast. A monoaxon spicules or each ray of triradiate spicules is secreted by a group of two sclerocytes. Among these two sclerocytes, one acts as thickener cell and one other act as the founder cells. The initiation of the formation of the spicules start with the deposition of a particle of calcium carbonate between two nuclei of the binucleated mesenchymal cells. This particle grows, drawing apart the two nuclei, and then two sclerocytes are formed. Now the thickener cells lays down additional layer of a calcium carbonate, adding to the thickness of the spicules. When the spicule is fully formed, both the cells, uh, thickener cell and the founder cell, wander into the mesenchyme. And lastly, the scleroblast secreting a calcareous spicule is called as calcoblast, while the scleroblast secreting a siliceous spicule is called the silicoblast. So, thank you so much. This is all about my today's lecture.